My first batik, official batik. It's kujang here, kujang pattern, and that's like Sundanese motifs and everything. Yeah, it's designed by my good friend Ridwan Kamil.
Selamat siang Bapak.
Selamat siang Bu.
Oke, selamat siang teman-teman. Hari ini aku bersama Pak Fasil Hamianin. Beliau adalah Ambassador of Ukraine in Indonesia. Jadi hari ini kita bakal mengetahui Pak Fasil lebih dalam lagi nih. Pasti teman-teman juga pada penasaran kan, gimana sih perjalanan beliau bisa jadi Ambassador Ukraine di Indonesia. Oke, how are you today?
Oh, so yeah. Pertama-tama saya mau mengucapkan terima kasih atas kesempatan ini. Kedua, saya mau mohon maaf, saya tidak bisa berbahasa Indonesia dengan lancar. So better I will be answering in English. Yeah, sorry, that will be like more precise. Yeah.
I see. But how you talk in Indonesia actually good?
Not really. No. It's like a survival level, so I can survive. Like if I'm hungry, if like haus atau lapar, ya lelah, ya I can explain people what I want, what I need, but I cannot. Kalau tidak pidato, tidak bisa.
I see. So informal type of language,
yes.
Yeah. Okay,
like,
that's cool. That's cool.
I have to communicate with drivers, like of taxi sometimes.
Yeah.
Of when I di rumah makan, yeah. Also have to explain what I want and things, yeah.
I see. Okay, so you know some language in Indonesia, yeah.
Very little.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that audiences, ID friends, interested in you. So probably I will start the question.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. So you are the ambassador of Ukraine in Indonesia. I mean, you're the one person representing Ukraine. So I'm curious. Can you tell us about your childhood? How did you grow up now to become an ambassador?
Oh, that's very sensitive. I mean, like I'm 53 and my childhood was like long time ago, yeah. And I don't think it has any relationship with my today. But what's important, I think it's important for everyone, for every human being, yeah. I'm really grateful to my grandmother and I'm grateful to my parents who taught me how to read when I was like around 3 or 4 years old. So by 5 I could read newspapers like easily. Oh. And I could speak actually when I was 1.5 years old, like under 2. I was really fluent speaker already, that like reciting poetry and things. Only because my grandmother, especially my grandmother, because I spent all my childhood with my granny, and she taught me like how to speak, how to read. She entertained me with this, so that's important. So I think for the young kids, it's crucially important that you pay attention.
I see.
You pay attention to them every second, every minute. That's what we, myself and my wife, how we treated our kids. So they were always under very close attention. I mean, we talk to them, sing to them, read to them, show them, teach them. That's why I think that's the basics for the person to be developed in a manner of the human being, right? For the development of the intelligence, of the intellect maybe, and of the communicability. So people who grew up in the atmosphere of love, attention and everything, they grow up like very communicable, talking to everyone, being friendly with everyone, being open to everyone, open to new ideas, open to new people, yeah. I think that's the most important thing I would remember from my school, because after that, still remember, I should mention it, I think. I grew up in the Soviet Union, which is the communist dictatorship, and I remember that very clearly. So nothing was permitted. It was a very restricted society, very under censorship and under everything. So when Ukraine became independent, that was a breakthrough. It was like a air terjun, yeah, in the summertime, in the springtime. So the water like broke into everywhere, and people started to think differently. And yeah, so but at that time I was already not even the teenager. I was 20. So yeah, I was grown up. So it did not influence much on me, like in respect of my further employment or something.
I see, yeah. Actually, I'm a psychology student, and I really agree with you. Kids are the best one to see and practical, like they are very practical, so what they see they will replicate it in daily life. So it's really good that you can teach them directly. Yeah,
That's true. That's true. So that's what you do with kids. Yeah,
I see. So you already tell us about your childhood, yeah? And can you tell us what's the biggest lesson that Gen Z of Indonesia can learn from the Ukraine journeys, or?
The world is getting very small. It's getting smaller and smaller day by day, year by year, because 100 years ago even, but not talking about the 200 years ago, you want to travel from Europe to Asia, it would take you weeks if not months. But now it takes you like literally a few hours from any point of the world to any point of the world. Plus, you even don't need to travel sometime. You just go online and you talk to people, you communicate, exchange information, get information. And that's why it's, I would say it's not about Ukraine, but it's about the globalization. It's about the global processes that people, Generation Z or whatever, they have to pay attention to, because you cannot be isolated. You cannot be isolated. You would not say, oh, we will develop here in the country, say Indonesia, or in, I don't know, Singapore, or I don't know, Africa, or Brazil. We cannot just, isolate ourselves from the world and just develop like on our own. It is not possible. So what we should pick up, Ukraine is far away, good example. It's far away country from Indonesia. It's really far away, and it's relatively small compared to Indonesia, though Ukraine's territory is Pulau Jawa times 5, so 5 Pulau Jawa put together. And at present we are experiencing a big and very fierce invasion from Russian Federation. So it is a war, a big war in Ukraine taking place now, this moment. So what your young people can experience from Ukraine is that, I think what's most important now is how people defend the country, defend the land, defend the sovereignty and freedom in the 21st century. Because you remember how did your grandparents defended Indonesia, yeah? How they fought for independence, how they fought for the freedom, yeah, back in 40s, 50s, etc. But it's far away from the kids now. So kids don't perceive it as a yesterday. They perceive it like Stone Age, like long time ago. At the time when my kids asking my mother what model of mobile phone she had when she was a kid, say, you know what, we didn't have a phone, not mobile phone, any phone. We didn't have TV. And the next question from my kid was, do you remember dinosaurs? Like that's far, far away. So now, to really to perceive this spirit of freedom, young generation of Indonesians would rather have a serious look at Ukraine. How our people, how our kids, small kids, teenagers, young people, young men and women fight for their independence, without thinking of the lives, of the security, of their really survival. No, they really concentrate on that. How to make the country, the nation survive, and how to make it like sovereign and independent and free. I think this is the most important thing that people can pick up from Ukraine now, the spirit of freedom in 21st century.
I see. So you mentioned that as a Generation Z, we need to have principles and also proud of our ancestors because they fought for our independence. So for now, because probably in here, like for example, war is not, there is no war. So probably for us to face globalization, we also need principles. We need to also proud to our nation so that and also knows our uniqueness, for example, in our country. So
I would not even mention principles.
Okay.
Because for young people, if you talk about principles, values, they don't even understand. Maybe some of them do, but many of them, they don't understand what. It's just words. Principles and values, what it means. What it means, principles and values. What values? Have you been taught what values are? Like, in general terms, maybe not. What you need to understand, I think, is the passion. Meaning that if you follow your heart, you will understand what is right and what is wrong. I give you an example. If you see on the street, you see the big boy, like man, hits the small girl with a stick, you will understand this is wrong. This is not right.
Okay.
And nobody will say that this is good. Nobody will, and most of the people will rush and try to stop him. But when you see the big country with a big army, like very imperialist spiritually, like very in nature, very imperialist, attacking the other country, smaller and not as powerful with resources and with people say, oh, maybe this is, maybe they have a right to defend themselves, like to prevent, they have concerns, blah, blah, blah. This is not right. So follow your heart. I think the people, the young people here in Indonesia and worldwide, okay, if they cannot even think critically, maybe some of them can, some of them cannot. I have 3 kids and they all like Z, all that generation.
Okay.
If people don't think critically, they still can follow their heart. What is right and what is wrong. So that's the point. It's not about the some abstract principles or values which they don't understand. What they understand is what my message is. Never, please, never be indifferent. I mean, like, oh, I don't care. If you care, this will lead you to a right direction. If you care, if you don't, like, oh, I don't get lost, I don't want to know, I don't want to know. That's the most dangerous field. If you don't want to know what happens, because tomorrow your family, you yourself, your like family, your loved ones could be attacked or dishonored or harmed, and people would not care. People around you say, okay, I don't care, it's not my business. Don't be indifferent. This is important.
I see.
Please care what is going on, because this is not so far, and it's closer than you can believe. It's closer than you can imagine.
I see. So yeah, I think that's true. So we need to follow our heart. For example, for career as well, as a Gen Z, we need to know what our passion, so that we can really know our true colors. And yeah, from that aside, we also need to care to our surroundings, so that can also lead us to have a humanity type of feelings. Okay, thank you. And yeah, when you were assigned in Indonesia as ambassador 4 years ago, what was your opinion about Indonesia, and what are your expectations about Indonesia?
That time, you mean?
Yeah, that time.
Oh, that's a complicated question, because before I was appointed, I've never been here.
Yeah.
I've been only in this part of the world. Well, China, of course. I spent many years in China, and I was in like Mongolia. I was in briefly in Malaysia, but very briefly, and that's it. I mean, Thailand, of course, but that part of the world, not in Indonesia. So that was I perceived it as a challenge because the country I did not know, the country I definitely did not understand, the country I definitely could expect to be like a big surprise to me, right? But it was an excitement because after all, I can understand, I could read, right? So having my PhD in world history, I definitely had some impression on what Indonesia is, what Indonesia was, like since times immemorial, since like First Kingdom, since I don't know, Sriwijaya, then Mataram, Majapahit, Mataram again, and all these kingdoms, all these like big movements of the people, the mixture of religions, mixture of like huge diversity of ethnic groups and nature. There was an excitement, right? So I expected a lot of new impressions and the opportunities to explore something I did not know well enough. But after my appointment, I started, well, not actually long before that, when we just roughly agreed that I will be posted in Indonesia, perhaps. So I started to learn Bahasa a little bit, and then I started to read more books about Indonesian history, about the religions, about the geopolitics, like about the, especially about the recent history, like since the independence in 1945, etc. So, and you know what? Reading has always been a big issue to me. So I enjoyed it, and I tell you this: I did not. I cannot say I know Indonesia. I cannot say that because it's much bigger than you can ever read. And then I came here, and nearly every day, nearly every week, I had a lot of surprises waiting for me from around me, because I thought I knew Indonesia like a little bit, but no. And there were discoveries like literally every day. So lots of new findings, lots of new discoveries.
I see, but I can sense your passion in knowing Indonesia. For example, your clothes, batik, is it from like Sundanese type of pattern?
Yes, it is actually. It's you see, because it's kujang here, kujang pattern, and that's like Sundanese motifs and everything. Yeah, it's designed by my good friend Ridwan Kamil, and I think it's my first batik, like official batik.
Yeah.
It's a Komar brand from Bandung, I think. So that's one of my favorites. I love it so much, and I will take it with me for sure.
Yeah, it looks good on you. So, talking about batik, and I've noticed that you always wear batik in every of your events, and that's an honor for us, obviously. And what do you think what are the uniqueness and interesting part of Indonesia that we need to always preserve it?
It's not only about batik. I love batik for many reasons. For practical reasons, because it's the best you can choose for everyday wearing. Yeah, you can just come and then in 5 minutes you're ready for any official ceremony.
Yeah.
You don't need to have prepare the shirts and then note it and then necktie. No. Second, batik is the variety is huge. I love the varieties. I get bored if it's like all the same, like black costume, white shirt. No, boring. Yeah. So now you have the batik. So every day you change, and then also it's like a little like a game to me, you know. Because when I meet people, I normally try to find out, okay, this is orang Jawa, orang Sunda, orang I don't know, orang Ambon, orang Makassar, yeah, and I try to wear the batik representing that part of the world. So I have very clear like difference in my batik. Batik Semarang, batik Solo, batik Yogyakarta, batik Surabaya, batik Sunda, etc. Even batik Sulawesi, some new motifs and things. So it's interesting, and it's I'm trying to express my little respect, yeah, by wearing something that is dear to my friends whom I meet or talk to. And but it's not about only batik. I mean, like Indonesia, it's a very diverse country. And what's my message? I mean, like, yeah, if you don't preserve and develop your own culture, your own history, your own habits, traditions, then what will you be tomorrow? You will be rootless. It's like the tree without roots. It will get dry and die eventually. Only if you have roots, only if you care about roots, yeah? In the garden, you water your flowers, you water your trees, then the roots get enough water, get enough power to grow, yeah? And maybe to give you fruits, to give you something, to give you leaves, to give you shadows, yeah? If you don't take care about roots, then it dries. And that's exactly what we are talking about, the culture and the traditions. These are your roots. You should remember where you come from. And that's, I think that Indonesian people are extremely good in this, because I talk to so many people and they do remember. My father is from there, my mother from there, like mixed together or something, yeah? So they remember a lot about what they belong to. What groups. And definitely it's I'm a bit envious because in Ukraine we have the national heritage, very powerful and like very long time existing, like for centuries and centuries and centuries, like our embroidery shirts for like embroidery in general, yeah? And still it's not approved finally as the official attire for Ukraine. Like here, I can appear at any gathering officially in batik, and that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I don't remember when it started in Indonesia, but those who took the decision to A, to make it official, and B, to start the Batik Day, Hari Batik,
yeah,
that were extremely wise and inspiring decisions for it, because now I see, oh my God, batik is a big business. Batik is a big inspiration. It's it's I cannot describe it. Yeah.
I see. That's a beautiful analogy that you give to me, and yeah, I'm also agree. So basically, if we know our history, our root type of culture, especially Indonesia or Ukraine, something that would make a beautiful and uniqueness of ourselves. I think thank you so much, Fasil, for your answers. I think it's also inspired me as an MC today. So guys, I think that's all from IDE Indonesia. I hope that you can find new ideas from our conversation today. Thank you so much and see you guys on our next podcast.
Hatur nuhun.
Hatur nuhun.
Sampai jumpa.